Welcome to another episode of the Miles Offside podcast, where we talk a little bit of football and a whole lot of nonsense. My name is Oscar Puente, also known as Footy from Afar, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts Chuck Bailey and Ian Stimson. Happy Easter, gentlemen.
Happy Easter. Ian, I'm not a proper audiophile, but it felt like he dropped a semitone there.
Oh, do you think he was
semitone in
down
the
a bit? It seemed a bit more low-key.
It was.
As an audiophile, that's interesting because what he does, because he always goes big on the intro, and then the 40 quid mic that we got in from Amazon can't handle it. So what happens is it always takes the first like half a second and then goes, oh no shit, dips in volume, and then comes back. And I have to try and fix that every week in the mix. So if you ever hear a... and welcome. That's because I haven't done my job properly.
It's not just me influencing ITV daytime TV when that happens.
No, not this time.
It's just generally in the podcast as well. Yes. But anyway, happy Easter. Happy Chocolate Day, where we eat chocolate because Jesus came back and we didn't want him to go straight back into a diabetic coma. So we removed the temptation by eating all the chocolate.
And that's the Easter story.
The history of Easter, kids.
So what are the Easter traditions over there? Because I'm assuming they're different from here, right? So
Chuck just outlined them.
Is just chocolate?
Yeah, there'll be some eggs. Kids might do like there is the Easter Bunny, I guess, and you do
there is
like
the Easter Bunny over there.
searches for eggs.
Yeah.
Or people just buy gifts. It's a bit weird. My mum called me yesterday to say, "Oh, I've bought Isabel a scooter for Easter."
Take it.
Like, okay, what?
Yeah, good.
Fair enough.
Sure.
I guess you'd maybe have family round and do like a lamb dinner. I think would probably be traditional.
Not at the minute. Cannot stress it enough.
Absolutely.
Do not get the family round at the minute.
Especially
not recommended.
No.
Perfect opportunity to ostracise your relatives that you don't really want to talk to.
I've been loving this period. It's just been lovely. Social distancing for the win.
Silver lining's got to come from somewhere. Speaking of weird families, Neymar's stepdad.
Do you mean stepson?
No.
Stepbrother?
Stepbrother? Yeah, maybe.
Stepmother? Is it?
Well, stepbrother, he might start hitting on him, so...
Just when you thought the whole incest story, potential incest story, couldn't get any weirder, he now has a father who's younger than him.
22, right? The stepfather.
What a lovely story.
I mean, it's what Easter was about. Smashing mummy.
It's absolutely 100% canon on this podcast, if not real life, that he is very, very incestuous. So he might as well be a Game of Thrones character, Neymar.
Neymar. Yeah, it fits. It fits. That's what they were actually saying in the theme song. Right, there's your football.
Very good.
Tick.
Yep. All right. So then if we're not going to talk about football as the main part of today, because there's not much to talk about, let's move on to the next part, which today is going to be what, Chuck? Do you want to tell the people what we have?
Everything all about me. Chuck Bailey, this is your life.
Yeah. It's what we've been leading up to. It is our off-menu tribute, again, the third and final one, unless we do some guests, I don't know. But the third and final off-menu tribute where Chuck gets to pick his dream meal, which I think we're all expecting big things from.
Well, the thing is that there's been consistent themes throughout both of yours. Like, Oscar's was just a serenade of carbs and cheese.
Yeah.
Much like my life.
Much like your life. Ian's tracked into what he would actually put together as a meal.
Yeah.
And mine is just... fucking shambles.
Oh, good.
It is all over the place, and it is there is no real connection between any of them.
That's fine. There's no rules. Mine sort of accidentally fell into that. Just most British of meals. But...
Yeah. Is it accidental? Or is it exactly what a listener would have expected it to come out
Some stereotypes happen for a reason.
No, I wrote down some foreign muck. I just didn't include it. So...
update. Speaking of foreign muck, now not foreign muck at all, but food related. Yeah. Do you guys remember when I said that Emily got me like one of the world's hottest hot sauces for Christmas?
Yeah. From
that show, the Hot Ones show with the interviews?
Yeah.
I finally tried it yesterday.
How was it?
It was horrible. It was so bad.
Really? What did you try it on something? What was the vehicle?
So we got takeout last night, which we hadn't really been doing, but it was 1 month anniversary since the last time I was out and about. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're getting takeout. So we got wings because, that's one of the things that you can't like really make at home. I was like, if we're going to get takeout, let's get something that's like different outside food, you know?
Yeah.
So we got wings, and I got teriyaki wings. And then I was just eating my teriyaki wings, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if this had a little bit of kick to it. And I went to get the regular buffalo sauce out of our cabinet, and then staring at me right next to it was the hot ones. I was like, I've been afraid of this because it's going to give me like horrible diarrhea for many, many days, probably, if I do this.
And at least in the moment, you can accurately predict your proximity to the nearest toilet at all times.
At 100%. All times, exactly. Correct. No stirrings yet today, so okay. Going well, fingers crossed, so far. But it was really, really bad. I'm a baby about spice. Like a huge, huge baby about spicy food.
After you mentioned it to me, I watched a couple of those. Like, I haven't watched many. But does it, on the show, it seems to be like they're going along, and they recognise it's hot, and then all of a sudden, it just hits them again. Was it like that?
Yes. So the first wing, I was like, oh, this is... Yeah, I'll send you guys the video in the group chat later, because Emily took video of it.
Oh, brilliant.
Fantastic.
And it's pretty funny.
Patreon special right there.
Yeah, maybe. Can you upload videos to the Patreon?
We'll make it happen.
We'll figure it out. So I ate the first one, and I was like, you know, you can see I'm like, oh, this is hot. I said, like, this is. She's like, is it hot? Are you okay? I was like, no, it's really spicy. She's like, you're not overly.
How many layers did you have to take off?
And you see me get a little sweaty, and I'm like, no, this is the hottest thing I've ever eaten. It's definitely very spicy. But I'm like kind of going along. I'm fine. Yeah. And then I get to the second wing, and that shit hit like a fucking freight train.
Second wing. Wow.
Good Lord. I was so scared to swallow. I'm not even kidding. And Emily did make a "that's what she said" joke. Don't worry about it.
Good. Well done.
But I had it in my mouth, and I just started making like baby child sounds of like, and my hands were shaking. And I was like, I don't want to swallow it, but I have to. Like, it's in my mouth. I'm not going to spit it out on our table. Like, what do I... So then I just swallow it. But I started laughing at myself because of the crazy baby sounds I was making. And I ended up spitting out like a bunch of chunks of wings went flying out when I started laughing. It was a whole mess. And then I ate the third one also, and I wish I hadn't.
Okay.
Wow.
So, if Oscar disappears for 5 minutes off this pod, we all know what's happened.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's get to it then. Let's start us off with the first thing, the most important thing. Will you be drinking still or sparkling water?
I'm going to go for sparkling water.
Oh, fancy, Dan.
Fancy.
So, I think it is just... It definitely comes with age, because sparkling water as a child is garbage.
Because you're expecting sugar.
Yeah, it just tastes like fire. It's horrible, like electricity in your mouth. But for me, it's almost like a palate cleanser for the day. Like I'm coming into a meal now, so I'd like to just the properties of soda. You know that thing of like that old wives' tale is you can put soda water down and it will soak up and get rid of the dirt. That's kind of how I treat it in my face. That it's like, right, get rid of the scum of the day. And prepare my mouth, tantalise my mouth, wake up my taste buds for this extravaganza that I'm going to go for.
And that specifically happens with the bubbles, that you can't just get the same...
It feels like it. It's like, it doesn't work the same. Because I think tap water and bottled water, there's very little difference. Mm-hmm. Let's face it.
How dare you, sir? Maybe in England.
Just because in my country we can drink the tap water, okay? I want to make this very clear. I don't want to isolate anyone. If you can't, just go to your tap, turn it on, away you go. But tap water in England is great, so I don't need to spend a load of money.
I mean, I'd just like to caveat that slightly. I live in the east of England. The tap water here is fucking horrible. It's probably got way more calcium and minerals in it than your average bottle of mineral water anyway, but it's all the shit you don't want. It's not pleasant.
Okay, so there is a real class divide.
Yeah, definitely. I remember the first time I went to Manchester and drank the tap water, and I was like, what is this? Nectar of the gods. And like, yeah, tap water in the east of England is not good.
Yeah, and depending on where you go here, some of the water smells like a chlorine pool.
Oh, really?
Like it smells like a swimming pool. You're like,
Yeah, but some bottled waters are like that. Like, there's some where the very top does taste a bit chemically. I don't know whether it's to do with the bottling process or they put something in there.
Yeah.
But, like, if you open a bottle of water and sniff, like, very close to the top.
That's just plastic, isn't it?
Yeah, naturally, that's what I do when I open my bottles of water. Just give them a sniff.
This is a good vintage.
It's a good day for some water.
Part of the ceremony, all of that.
Of course. Is that part of it, do you think? Just having something different that you don't have at home? It's the ceremony of it more than the thing itself.
I think that is a potential. Because I think part of, going to a restaurant, it should be something special. When you go out, it should just be you go out with the person you're with to have some food, something that you don't necessarily have normally. And it can be anywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's a high-end place or a low-end place.
Italia.
Or Bella Italia, or it's just a buffet. But you want to indulge, you want to feel special and make it special. So that's why sparkling water. I would switch to still water potentially if, this is going on a slight tangent here, if it could be the water that the Looney Tunes drink in Space Jam, which makes them feel like they're really good at basketball. I'd go for that.
Look, this is your off menu. You can have it if you want.
You heard Richard Herring's the other week when he was travelling in time to get things he wanted.
Yeah, which we'll get to that because it's really, really annoyed me on listening to that fucking podcast that we've ripped off. Fair. So, but either that or maybe the water from an Alaskan glacier that the Water Boy has in the film The Water Boy that brings him back to life. I just really like to taste it because there's high quality H2O.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, after
it's sparkling.
Sparkling. Any flavors in there or just plain?
We have a drop of citrus, whatever you fancy, whatever comes to hand.
Okay.
A menagerie. Lemon, lime, maybe a bit of orange, who knows?
All right, well, after a little bit of an amuse-bouche to get the appetite going with some sparkling water here, what are we doing next? Are you going to go for Poppadom or bread?
Poppadoms or bread!
Is that your attempt at a shout, Oscar?
Well, I have neighbors. I don't live in a house. I have neighbors. I'm in an apartment, so I don't want to I don't know. Did I do that right? Here. All right, I'll give you another one. They're going
to be complaining. No, I like the idea that they're complaining to the apartment, buildings manager or whatever. There was an aggressive Indian waiter.
Well, I also didn't want to blow out the mic for Ian. He has to mix this later, but fine.
Poppadom or bread! Right, well, that's just going to be square wave nonsense. That's going to be awful.
Fantastic. That's what it's about. Again, I'm going in a different direction. So, I like the fact that in many world cuisines, you can have crisps before you start, basically. So, if you go for an Indian, you can have poppadoms. Mm. If you go Chinese, you can get prawn crackers.
Yeah.
Or Thai, or whatever. Right? If you go to a Mexican, Spanish place, you can get tortilla chips or nachos.
Huh.
But in England, they don't bring out a bag of Walkers. And that always frustrated me. Even as a child, I said this to my mother, and she said, "Shut up and eat your dinner."
If I whip you up some store cupboard tuna, mate, the top layer is like your little starter. Yum, 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 yum. Little crumbled up crisp. And then you can get into the tuna hideousness.
Oh. Sorry, that sent me for a loop. Just give me a minute.
Sorry, mate. It's a good point, though. I've never thought about this as a meal sort of dynamic that other cuisines seem to have this, and we don't. That's a fair point.
So many. Yeah. What happened? Why? But anyway, in that alternative, I want nachos. I want nachos with cheese. I want jalapenos. I want onions. I want peppers. I want all of that. That's what I want.
No.
Why?
Yeah, that feels like cheating. I mean, I had macaroni and cheese as my side, but that still feels a little bit like cheating. It's not the option.
It's poppadoms
we'll give you the
bread,
plain nachos. We'll allow the plain nachos, I think.
Well, I don't just want Doritos.
With a hint of lime or something.
This is like the shittest restaurant I've ever been to.
I don't think we can allow it, though.
Yeah, that feels... I love how when he was the one hosting, both of us just got away with whatever we wanted, and then Chuck's and we're like, no way, shut it down. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I didn't think it would go this way round.
I mean, I accept what you're saying about that, but if you had to choose between poppadoms or bread, there must be a choice, surely.
I think
even if you're making that decision now.
So something that will become apparent. So the reason I do want nachos is because my favourite way of eating is to have lots of different things at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So going out to a tapas place, or just when you're drinking, having loads of little dishes of whatever, be it like a calamari or some pork shoulder.
Not colourful though, eh?
Not colourful. No. Or, yes, colourful, I don't know.
Some lamb neck.
A bit of lamb neck, yeah. Is that I like lots of different things and lots of different flavours, and mostly the food I'm eating is just a vehicle for a different sauce.
Yes.
So I guess in that respect, I would go for poppadoms, because then you could just have everything. You get the chutney, you get that inexplicable onion salad, you get mint raita, you get lime pickle, which tastes like it could clean a toilet, but you eat it anyway.
Oscar, write down nachos with lime pickle.
Nachos.
I guess if I'm backed into a corner here.
Lime.
Or can I go
pickle.
hybrid and go for a naan bread?
Well, yeah, but yeah, that's a bread. Yeah, so definitely you could go for that.
Okay. So and a Peshwari naan, please. I'd like a Peshwari naan.
You like a Peshwari naan?
Peshwari naan is like a naan bread with like minced coconut and sultanas inside.
Ooh.
So a little bit of sweetness in there.
I've written down nachos with lime pickle, so we'll give you a something like nachos. Yeah. And now, I think it sounds like this might be the favorite part of your meal, given all the stuff you were talking about.
Yeah.
What are you going for with your starter?
So definitely the same as you guys. Starters are the best.
Yep.
Starters is always like when you're with a group of people, when someone goes, "Oh, are we having starters?" Like it's assumed.
Yeah. Why are we out otherwise? Yeah.
What I want is before I eat what I'm going to eat, I would like different food to prepare me for the more food I'm going to eat.
Uh-huh. What is it? A stomach stretcher?
Yeah, ultimately starters make absolutely no sense. But we all eat them anyway.
Yeah.
It's like South Park when Cartman says it's something we eat before we eat to make us more hungry.
Yeah, or like that joke about mozzarella sticks. Like, would you like to eat 6 cheese sticks? And you're like, no. You're like, what if we covered them in bread and deep fried them? And gave it to you not as a meal, but as just a starter? You're like, yes, okay,
Yes.
I'm in. Yeah.
And it is funny you mentioned those because it was very, very close because mozzarella sticks were up there for me as like a mention to get there. But it has to be the king of all the starters. The diversity is immense, and I genuinely believe that every restaurant or food establishment in the world should have to serve this. And it is, of course, the chicken wing.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is, and it shocked me that neither of you mentioned chicken wings. I mean, your son did a fantastic job taking it a different direction, mentioning as a main 24 wings.
Because that's how we eat them.
Are you having 24 wings as your starter?
Yeah, good point. Quantity.
Yeah. Can you just keep bringing them? Can we just keep... Is there a time limit? If I'm at this restaurant, is there no time limit? Fantastic. So
It's like the restaurant at the end of the world. Time moves differently.
perfect. Okay. Wait, do you get full there? Or...
I don't know. I haven't read that book in like 15 years.
I don't know. I mean, you just mentioned time travel, and it hurts me at the...
He struggles with weekdays.
Yeah. Especially at the minute.
Yeah,
I only know it's Sunday because we're recording.
Exactly, because I text the group, said, we recorded in half an hour. Oh, it's Sunday. Fuck.
Yes, we are. What I would like wings, fried, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Doesn't matter how. But I don't want them tossed in sauce.
Okay.
Because sometimes I feel it compromises the crispiness. So I would like a conveyor belt of wings with every hot sauce imaginable just around me, and I can just pick and dip.
Oh wow!
And just eat and just layer and get different. Maybe go for a teriyaki wing, or maybe just go for classic buffalo, or go for an extreme sauce, or deep fry them, batter them. Who cares? It's just the world of the wing is a versatile and beautiful. But I really want wings
right now.
Are they common over there? Because like there's so many places that have wings. I think it's an American food.
Less
first?
common, I think. Less common. I mean, everyone would know what you mean, but it's not as common. I mean, I don't know. For instance, if I was getting takeout, I don't know where I'd go to get wings.
Okay, yeah, to get great wings, there's not like not necessarily chain, but like an identifiable place to get wings. Like there are places in London, obviously, because there's tons of great food places where you can just get amazing wings.
I like that. I like the idea though of a range of you. moulding this dish to your own needs? Because I've often thought there is a lot of wasted sauce when you've got tossed wings and stuff. There's just like with the just stuff you discard. There's just wasted deliciousness going on.
I want it just there. I want everything. I don't even mind different kinds of wings.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel that when the wings are still joined, first joint and second joint,
Yep.
it is ridiculously inferior. So much worse. I want the first joint and second joint
Separately, yep. Agreed.
Because you get more crispiness.
It's science, surface area.
Of course, the surface area.
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
So so you got a chicken wing. It's a whole wing.
So when you get wings here, you either get the like tiny little drumsticks or you get the one with the 2 bones. But there's no like big like double wings.
So, most of the time they'll still be joined.
Oh, that's not over here.
No, exactly, which is why it's better.
They're better.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so I don't like them, especially because in a lot of places they'll be like maybe they seem like they're cooked in an oven. God forbid I went to one pub once and it tasted like they were microwaved. That's probably the only time. It's probably the only time I haven't enjoyed wings. I still ate about a kilo.
So where are these wings coming from? Are there like specific? Is there like a wings only restaurant over there? Because we have a few different chains that are like just wings.
Annoyingly, there's not. Most of my formation of food is like, because I used to work for TGI Fridays when I was like 18, so we used to eat a lot of wings. And not just from there, from Nando's as well, because there was a Nando's across the street, but obviously that's more grilled chicken. But we used to get that at Fridays. We used to have the wings without the sauce, add the sauce afterwards, and it's so much more of a taste explosion. Never used to like blue cheese.
Really?
Never did, yeah. That's only come in like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I used to have like ranch or like a Caesar dressing, or Thousand Island is quite good.
Oh, lovely.
Ugh.
To have with that.
No?
I
Don't like that, Oscar?
No, I mean, so you guys do wings very differently, it sounds like.
But we don't do wings. This is the thing. We don't really do wings.
Okay.
My idea of what wings would be, right, as not as in my idea, but what you'd see on a menu is wings tossed in a buffalo hot sauce, a vinegary hot sauce, most commonly Frank's, because as an entry point, Frank's is the best.
Yep. You put that shit on everything.
Serve with a blue cheese dressing and celery sticks. As I said earlier, I see food as a vehicle for sauce. Hence why anytime I go to a supermarket, and I am going to make something like wings, because I have made my own on occasion, is that I buy about 8 different hot sauces and then just dip in. You go in different.
I'm imagining you on like a spinny office chair surrounded by sauce, different sauces, and then you can just sort of grab what you want as you...
I mean, so am I now.
Yeah.
That seems like a much better system than the conveyor belt system.
Yeah, I was picturing an I Love Lucy situation where there's just more and more things coming out and you're overwhelmed.
Oh, that's a reference I'm not aware of.
Do you guys not have I Love Lucy? I guess that's fair.
Well, no, it's also that I don't think there's such a thing as being overwhelmed by chicken wings. So it's like a two-way thing right there.
Gotcha. Okay. So, but there's no like specific pub that you want to shout out as like, this is where I get my wings. These are the best wings I would have.
Every meal, it's going to be I do the best ones. So
yeah, sure.
I make good wings.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't make the best ones because I think you need a deep fat fryer.
Okay.
You have to have a proper deep fat fryer because it needs to pop. It needs to like pop and that delicious flavour explode into your face.
This will surprise no one, but I have a deep fryer.
Colour me
shocked. You can get them.
I mean, literally, there's no reaction.
So you can get one, Chuck, if you want to make your own deep fried wings at home. You can just buy it online.
The problem is that I'd use it a lot.
Oh, it's so
and
dangerous.
Then the smell.
Yeah, does not everything in the kitchen just have a film of grease over it forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I owned my own house and I could have like, I don't like this, but a man cave, just basically an outside area that my girlfriend doesn't mind if I fuck up.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
I'd have a deep fat fryer in there.
Okay. All right.
Even cauliflower wings, I quite like those.
Oh, yeah. Fuck off.
No, they can be good. They can be good.
No,
they're quite good. It's not. Of course, it's not the same.
No,
but
it's a different thing.
Nope.
If you don't, but hang on, Oscar.
Nope.
If you don't go,
hang on, one sec. Do you know what a cauliflower is?
It's the not broccoli one, right? It's like white. It's like albino broccoli.
The not broccoli one. It's a good way of describing it, Chuck.
It's albino broccoli.
You can put your head in your hands all you like. It's not broccoli.
Yeah.
It's not broccoli.
I mean, it's not. It's not. But also, a bulldozer isn't broccoli. So,
Well, you cover it in buffalo sauce. I'll have a go.
All right. Well, let's move on to the
bring
main.
that JCB in my face.
Chuck, main, the fucking heart of this meal. What are we going?
Oh my god! So I think one of the reasons I'm doing this last is because it has taken me since Oscar did his meal, which was probably about 40 episodes ago now.
Yeah, it's a long old time ago.
Long time ago.
It's a hefty time ago.
If we need to take a break, we'll re-release Oscars. It was a long while ago.
Yeah, I just couldn't think of what I'd like, and to just sit and have and a front runner for a very long time was a Christmas dinner.
Yeah,
because it's like a roast dinner, which is amazing. And whether you say someone's roast dinner is wrong or right or whatever, just the combination of things you can have with it is innumerable. Then you upgrade that to Christmas dinner, and all of a sudden it just goes even further and explodes.
It's everything as well. The occasion, I totally understand. Yeah, 100%.
Family. It doesn't matter if the food's poor quality. Like, everything about that moment is just incredible. Then on the flip side, I thought about going for a kebab. Because I really like kebabs.
Yeah, bloody lovely, isn't they?
And in fact, I would like Oscar. I was watching, like I mentioned before, I've been watching a lot of cooking shows over the last week, and one of them that is not a cooking show is called Eddie Eats America.
Oh, my God.
It's awful. It's so bad. Yeah. It's really bad because he won like World's Strongest Man. So he's this huge dude who fails. He keeps doing eating challenges. It's like Man vs. Food, except he doesn't know about food. And he keeps doing like eating challenges that weigh 7 pounds. This seems to be a consistent. He fails every one. Then next week, a 7 pound eating challenge. Oh, he failed that one. Next week, a 7 pound. And then funnily enough, when it drops to something else, he wins. Yeah. And it's just very strange.
That's so funny you mentioned that, because a strongman, World's Strongest Man, is part of mine and Finley's Christmas tradition. We watch that every year. It's hosted by James Richardson and commentated on by Danny Wallace, and he pitches it perfectly with exactly the right amount of I don't know, what's the word? Exactly the right amount of piss taking of the whole event, but just on the right side of not getting his ass kicked in case he ever meets any of them.
Yeah, this is true. And, is it still on Channel 4?
It's Channel 5.
Oh, downgraded. But I always used to watch that because it used to be on Sundays, I'm sure. Right, okay. When I was younger, and I used to watch it.
Yeah, and it's now a Christmas thing. Even no matter if it's filmed in the summer or whatever, it's on over in that dead period between Christmas and New Year. And Eddie Hall is something of a hero. The man deadlifts like more than he can eat. Apparently,
he's got the world record. He's got the world record for deadlifting.
Like me and Finn absolutely love that shit. It's so good. But yeah, that for that series is terrible.
It's awful. But Oscar, he goes to a place which is in Queens, which is, that's where you're from, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Called Gyro World, or Gyro World, as people might say, which is a kebab place. And they do a 7 pound sharer, which is 4 pita breads with 3 different rotisserie meats on it, 2 different types of meat skewers, 2 different kinds of pittas, and then just loads of other stuff. So I thought, when this is all over, we'll go there and we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, I just looked up the address. I've been to this place.
It's
good. It's really
just
good.
Wanted to go for this one.
Yeah. For any listeners that want to try it out, it's on 30th Avenue in Astoria, Queens. So like where all the hipsters are now.
But I'm going to go the middle ground for probably, I mean, I've gone for the king of starters. I'm going for the king of meals. It's a full English breakfast.
Oh, wow. Shit.
I don't care what you say. Breakfast, it's
a meal.
It's a meal that transcends everything. It is just the most beautiful mix of bastarding. Oh. And when you have that for dinner, you feel like you're cheating at life. Yeah. And winning and not getting caught. And it's just, there's just something about it that... Oh.
Delightful.
And the hot sauce from the wings will go really good with the eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You could get if you want.
Have a bit left over.
But that's the beauty of versatility, that because there's so many components, you can just add anything, or you can substitute anything.
Yeah. So talk us through what specifically is in your perfect full English breakfast for dinner.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go for 2 sausages, if not maybe a third afterwards.
Ooh.
Right. Now these can be Cumberlands. These can be. Like a sage one with Bramley apple. I have had some lovely ones which contain black pudding.
Oh, nice. Okay. It's an interesting one, the sausage. A breakfast sausage. You have to be careful, I think, with your herb and spice sort of quantity.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think you want anything too
I see
herby.
What you mean.
It's a breakfast sausage. I mean, you're having it for dinner, so you could maybe branch out a little bit.
Yeah, go for like a bratwurst.
Well, that was my next point, that you could go for, even for a German sausage, be all inclusive. I'm not a Brexit kind of guy.
A holiday buffet.
Yeah.
Ian is out. He's like, no, traditional English foods only, please.
He wants his meat content below 20%.
No, that's not true. I will argue against a poor quality sausage.
I want
that
more
is the hill I'll
rusk.
die on.
Yeah. I think that's fair. The amount of, I'm noticing that in supermarkets now, is a lot of the sausages have gluten-free on them, and so you're like, they're trying to fight against this. It's not just full of sawdust and shit from the floor. And the sausage quality is getting a lot better. Although I will occasionally do some nasty and go for a Richmond.
I don't know. They're just promising gluten-free, though. They're not promising sawdust-free. So, you're making assumptions there. That's dangerous.
It's a step. And to be honest, with the grease content, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is weird, because I bloody love a rusk. Like, well, one of the things of having, like, specifically a rusk, one of the things when we were having a kid, I was like, I can't wait to bang out the rusks.
The amount of packets I bought when
delicious. But when crumbled up in a sausage, I'm just not interested.
It's not apricot flavour still, though.
Oscar,
do you
I have
rusks?
no fucking clue what you guys are talking about. This is very amusing. Because I'm like, is it a pudding? Is it baby food? Is it a sausage? I don't know what the hell this is.
It's a big plain biscuit that's meant for babies because it dissolves very quickly when it gets wet.
Okay.
So little ones can have it, and it's something to kind of bite down on
when they're teething, and
Okay, and biscuits are basically cookies, right? Just for American listeners.
Yeah, but very mild tasting. But when you first have a kid, it's one of like baby food chocolate pudding. Like it's one of the reasons to have a kid.
You can buy baby food without having a baby, right? They're not like,
what?
sir, can you go get your baby, please, and bring them back? Otherwise, we will not sell this to you.
I'm 9 years in, Oscar. Can't tell me this now.
I went through a phase of eating baby food. We used to buy the desserts. Even when we went to Reading Festival. When we went to Reading Festival in 2006 or so, we bought, because we were like, well, we've not got a lot of money for food and we need to get...
That can't have been the most cost-effective way to get nutrients.
we were 15. We were 15, so we bought baby food, desserts, specifically desserts.
And you ended up a chef.
What happened? What I did on my first Reading Festival? I would walk into Reading Town Centre, get 3 or 4 sort of double cheeseburgers from McDonald's, keep them in my hoodie, and then I could get them in, and then I'd just eat those during the day, and then go back to the McDonald's the next day and shit myself inside out and get some more cheeseburgers. It was lovely time.
Back then they did cost 50p though, so you could easily do that.
Exactly, yeah. Funnily enough though, the baby chocolate pudding didn't cross my mind. Should have done.
I should have done. The chocolate pudding was really good. There was one that was called banana cream fool.
Which you pronounce like that. Banana cream, fool.
Every time, Mr. T. Banana cream, fool! Just walking around to Sainsbury's in Reading.
Yeah.
God, I hated those days. So sausages.
Oh dear, nearly spat all over the mic there. Go on,
nearly
sausages.
Got that. Yep. 3 different sausages. Surprised me. I don't mind. Go for it.
A trio of surprise sausages.
Wow, that's a classic Chuck Saturday night. Just 3 sausages. I don't care who. Just surprise me.
This is true. Bacon, back bacon.
Not streaky.
Not streaky. No, that's not full English. I'm not averse to streaky bacon. I think streaky bacon in a burger, perfect.
Is that American bacon? Is the streaky one?
Yeah. Rashers. Okay. Not rashers, no. The liney one. The one that in cartoons is just red and white lines.
Yeah, that's American bacon. Yeah.
Yeah. So not that. That should never be on a full English breakfast.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay.
So proper back bacon, 3 rashers.
3.
Okay. Yeah. So far I've gone for 2, maybe 3 sausages, and 3 rashers of bacon. Yep. Right. Eggs. I want 1 fried. I want it crispy on the bottom.
Yeah.
I want some scrambled eggs. Just a little bit. I'd like a mini omelette.
Okay.
Basically, I want eggs every way you can have them.
You want a trio of everything? You want 3 bacon, a trio of sausages, a trio of eggs.
Maybe a poached egg. I had a poached egg.
Oh.
Bearing in mind, I've worked in the food industry for a long time and made a lot of poached eggs. I only had a poached egg for 2 weeks ago.
For the first time?
For the first time.
Huh.
They're bloody great.
I love a poached egg. Yeah, delicious.
They're fantastic. Oscar, you know what a poached egg is? Just
I'm
checking.
literally Googling it right now.
Oh, my God.
Because I'm pretty sure it's the really, really wet one, right? It you stab it and then all the wet comes out.
All the wet. The whole thing's liquid.
I don't like runny eggs, so that is why I've avoided this.
That's fair. I all through my life I've been very funny about eggs. And would only really like them if I cooked them for myself. So when I was younger, I went through a phase of making a lot of omelettes. So I don't mind saying this, I probably do make one of the best omelettes any of you will ever eat. That is just a fact.
I don't mind saying it.
That's the one thing, you said before, Oscar, about me making anything, and I'll say mine is the best. Omelettes.
That was Ian, but okay.
It was me.
Whatever, I'll just presume. You're all the same. You're just a blob. I know. I make fucking amazing omelettes. But eggs, fried eggs, no. Always, especially in English places, like Ian will attest, it's very snotty, very runny most of the time, greasy spoon calves. Yeah. They're horrible. It's just throw it against the wall, flob.
Yeah.
Until when I worked at TGI's, we used to go to this cafe across the road, and there was a guy, really good chef, with a massive monobrow, who cooked really good eggs.
Oh, when you find somewhere like that, isn't it just fucking delightful? Somewhere that does something that you like well, it's just...
Especially when it's across the road. So we used to get sausage bacon, fried egg baguettes. Oh, amazing.
Brilliant.
So a trio, as many different kinds of egg as you can fit. This plate's fucking massive. Right, so we've got sausage, bacon, egg, beans, Heinz.
Okay.
Please ensure before serving... Now, I don't want the full tin, obviously, but please make sure before you heat them, shake the can amply.
Absolutely, yep.
Because you don't... The first pour, if you are brazen enough to just crack open a tin of beans and pour straight away, your sauce to bean ratio is appalling.
Yeah.
Absolutely appalling. Yep. Please ensure... If you take one thing from this podcast... for the last
you won't.
2 years, and however much longer this goes on for after this, just shake the tin of beans.
Yeah.
Right? Use the sausage as a breakwater between the egg and the beans, lest they mix. It won't work.
I want that to be my decision.
Black pudding. Has to be black pudding, but...
Yep.
I don't know how much experience I've had with black pudding to know what is really good black pudding or not. I would then like some mushrooms, chopped up into quarters, pan roasted, so they're lovely, so they're not slimy and horrible. I'd like a tomato, again, oven roasted, garlic, a little bit of oil, bit of thyme.
Lovely.
Let the flavours go in, turn it into mush. Boom. So we've got sausage, beans, egg, bacon, black pudding, tomato, mushroom, hash browns, triangular.
Yep.
The key for any hash brown. I don't want a potato rosti. It's not how it works. It's not a potato pancake.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like the wings. You want the ratio of potato filling to crispiness. It's got to be perfect. If I could get the hash browns that McDonald's used to do in circa 2002 to 2007...
Oh, okay.
That would be the perfect hash brown.
Have they changed the hash browns?
Awful.
Really?
When I was at school, you used to be able to get 3 for £1, and they were hot and they were beautiful. And then now you get 1 for 80p, and it's just it's just shit.
Right.
Awful. So I want that specifically with my mindset back then, just in case the taste has changed, so that they do taste exactly how in my brain they are.
Okay.
Toast.
White or brown?
One of each.
You don't.
Fuck it.
Wow. Not 3?
Well, the third would be a slice of fried bread.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Good Lord, this is huge.
I know.
I want fried white bread, deep fat fryer, bang. Oscar, if you've never done that, it will change the world.
Okay.
Again, though, it's a vehicle for beans, egg yolk. Do you not? Or
yeah,
do you just...
it does give more structure to it, because sometimes even if you like, a well-grilled piece of toast, you put the stuff on and it will start to go floppy. Fried bread, nah, it's not happening, mate.
Don't have that problem. Yeah.
The only time I've ever liked runny eggs were when I had a really good piece of toast as part of a full English breakfast. I remember the exact restaurant too. It was like the best full English I've ever had. Very, very posh place on the King's Road by Stamford Bridge called the Ivy.
Aware of the Ivy.
Chuck, I once had a English breakfast cooked for me by Jean-Christophe Novelli.
What?
So
Where?
At his house.
What?
Because I was working for a shopping channel and he was flogging some pans. So we went to do a promo shoot at his house and he was like cooking a fried breakfast with these pans. And we were like filming it, and then afterwards we got to eat it. So he did a 1-pan fry up. So unlike yours, which has gargantuan quantities of everything, this had much smaller quantities of everything, all in one relatively small pan.
Which makes it a bullshit breakfast. And just as a caveat here, if you ever go to a place and their breakfast, as standard, is 1 sausage, 1 bacon,
yes,
you put the menu down and you walk out. Their breakfast is no good.
Fair enough. But anyway, so he had all of this very small quantity in 1 pan, and then once all of that had come out, he put like a big flat mushroom in the pan, little few drops of water, and then a smaller pan lid on top of it, steamed the mushroom. Because you said about mushrooms, I'm not a mushroom guy, and I said, because we were all going to, obviously the second we were done filming, we were all going to gannet this food down as quickly as possible.
Of course.
And I said, I don't like mushrooms, and he said, no, try that, it won't taste like a mushroom. And it was the most delicious thing I've ever had, because it just had absorbed all the bacon, all the sausage. It tasted like a fry up in a bite, and it was the most delicious thing I've ever eaten.
I always enjoy the sell of, you'll really like this, it doesn't taste like what it is.
What it is.
That's always just a fantastic...
Yeah, that's how he had to sell it to me, but it was so good. Yeah.
Amazing. You say... I've got something which is aptly labelled in a misogynistic way, the man pan, and it is about 1.5 feet wide. It still has a standard circular base for any hob, but it is sectioned with a grill section and other parts, circular bits, designed to cook a whole full English breakfast in one go.
Amazing.
I've never used it because that just seems... It's just impractical.
Seems gauche, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just seems a bit too much, and, to clean, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But that sounds fantastic. Okay, so I'd like one of those mushrooms as well, please.
Jean-Christophe Novelli mushroom.
Jean-Christophe Novelli from the shopping channel that Ian was on that changed his world.
15 years ago.
And I think that's it.
All right, well, if that doesn't have enough moving pieces to it, what are you going to have as a side dish to all that?
You'd think some of that would be a side dish, and I'd put it on
It could be, but no.
But I'm not. Actually, so we'll keep the hash browns still. We won't have chips, because my side dish is potatoes done a completely different way.
Okay.
Now, Ian, you mentioned about mash, and you really liked, super whipped.
In that meal, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So my choice of side is something which is called pomme aligot.
Oh, okay.
Now, pomme aligot is effectively a rustic French mash with cheese, where the standard ratios of potato to cheese are inverted.
Oh, hey.
Okay.
So it is effectively melted cheese with some mashed potato in it. And imagine, this is one of those things, Oscar, how I said to you last week that when you're going to make something, don't get too bogged down in the recipe, because you'll start to imagine how it tastes and it won't taste like that.
Sure.
When I made this, it tasted like everything I ever imagined and more, because you take the potatoes and you cook them down the normal way. True French style, you add a load of cream, you add a load of butter, and you add garlic.
Yes, please.
Then when you're cooking it, you start to add cheese. Now, it's meant to be a specific cheese, which is called Tom. I can't remember the name of the region, Tom d'Auvergne or something like that. But you can get the same kind of effect by mixing mozzarella and Gruyere. Right? Smash a load of those in, put it on a low heat, and you stir, and you stir, and you stir. And this thing is going to kill your forearms, but you have to persevere, right? And you just keep stirring.
It's killing my forearms right now.
And you Fantastic.
I was going to say, the term preaching to the choir has never been more apt than this.
Especially at Easter. It's just a biblical time.
They should rename these the mop potatoes. There's a bunch of heavy cream in there for Ian. It's all cheese for me. And it's delicious, I guess, for Chuck.
Masturbating for me? I don't
know.
You didn't leave me with a lot to play with.
You were the one that suggested them, so,
This is true. And so you stir and stir and stir. And every so often you pull the spatula or the spoon up to see how much of it is sticking together. And you just want that consistency. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. And, you can put some chopped parsley in there if you want, like a little bit of greenery just to kick through it. Loads of salt, loads of pepper, loads of butter, cheese, potato. And it is absolutely incredible. And that on the side of my fried breakfast. My full English Brinner, I would like pomme aligot, made by John Christophe Novelli.
Why not? Why not?
He's doing this whole thing.
He's French. He must know it. I mean, this is the thing. I hoped I'd learn something today, and I have. I'd never heard of that.
You really thought I was going to go fancy with all of this, but I will eat fucking anything. I have no standards.
This has a French name, so that makes it automatically fancy to me. I wrote cheese potatoes, but it's actually called pomme aligot.
It's beautiful. And I've Googled it, and the first website I've seen that says, once you try this, it might be hard to go back to traditional mashed potatoes. Mightn't it? I've not even tried it, and I'm never having mashed potatoes again. I'm watching an Instagram video now of someone pulling it up exactly like you said, and I'm never eating mashed potatoes again. That is amazing.
It's incredible. I've made it once because, it does take a long time. And I made it for Gina. I think it was Valentine's Day. And I cooked, and I basically did 3 courses, and 3 courses and a side, and I realised that there was a lot of cheese. I bought about 9 different kinds of cheeses.
Of course you did.
Because I can't remember what the starter was, but there was a feta and broccoli pastry for a main. There was this pomme aligot on the side. The dessert, I made a cheesecake, and there was something else.
Oh, lovely.
As a starter, but. Oh my god, yeah. If you, everyone's got time now. Just try it once. I
fucking will be. Don't worry about that.
Fully commit to the secret of French cooking, which is there's no such thing as too much butter. Yeah. There really isn't. And just
fat. Yeah.
Smash this baby up. Even I think the recipe I kind of played off was on a BBC Good Food or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Fantastic.
Give me 5 minutes. I need to.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Whew.
My forearm really hurts.
Anybody have a cigarette? I've never had one before. A sudden craving.
I think it's mostly a difference in texture as well, because going from the sausage and bacon and whatever, you need something that's easy. That's just going to give you deliciousness. So
look, you don't have to sell this thing anymore.
I'm surprised you're still talking.
Yeah, you really don't have to sell this. We're in, bro. We're all in.
I'm glad that we could have something like that could unify us.
Absolutely.
At a difficult time like this, the world can all get behind some cheese potatoes.
100%.
It's the simple things in life. Yeah. The simple things.
All right, what are you having to drink? What's your drink?
So, I mentioned earlier about my annoyance with when you try and think of food and try and come up with your own menu, And if you go back and listen to like the Off Menu podcast, which is fantastic as well, the Ed Gamble and James Acaster are amazing, and all the different guests they get on, because if the menu's good, they talk a lot about food and it's amazing. If their menu's shit, they just get ripped the piss out of by two comedians. So it's really funny.
It's so good.
But the problem is, so many things that you think, oh, if I was going to do this meal, this is what I'd say for this course. They just get taken, like one by one by one. Mm-hmm. And I thought this was the one thing that was like, brilliant. When I do my meal, no one's ever said this before. And literally the last episode that's been released before we released this, or recorded this, sorry, Richard Herring, an English comedian, his pick was, I would like the beer that you have on holiday. And that really annoyed me, because what I want, and I think it's true, that you go to these places all around the world and you have the local beer and you sit and you taste it. And it's incredible because of where you are in a situation, if you're on a beach, and then you come home and you buy that beer and it doesn't taste the same. It tastes like crap. Right. And it really, really annoyed me because I got so close to not having someone on that fucking podcast steal my answer. So specifically what I would want, and I will paint a word picture for you now, is imagine, gentlemen, that you are out. Oscar, very easy for you to imagine. Very hot day out in the US, right? You're walking the streets with your girlfriend or wife, as is your two cases. Or your girlfriends as well that they don't know about.
Yeah, for
one
sure.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I'll pick on the day.
It's a really hot day and you're just a bit tired, and maybe she's making you go see some shops that you don't want to do or whatever, but you've just been going long and you think, oh, you know what, we need to stop and get a bit of food. But I also just really want a beer. And it's a hot day, you're sweaty, and you spy, out of the corner of your eye, a little sign and the glint of a sports bar.
Mm.
So you walk in and you walk through those doors, and instantly the air conditioning hits you and it just lifts you, elevates you to another plane of existence. Yeah. All of a sudden, your T-shirt doesn't feel like it's sticking to your pits and ripping your nipples off. You saunter over to the bar.
What must that be like?
Dazzled by a plethora of TV screens showing every sport imaginable, as well as that one show that's on ESPN that I've never understood, which is called Round the Horn or Round the Clock or something.
Oh, I love Around the Horn.
That I've never watched with the sound on, so I have no comprehension of how it works, but I just enjoy it because their faces are so animated.
TV sound engineers are grinding their teeth.
And
I promise you.
You sit yourself at the bar, and a bartender comes over and flicks a napkin down and goes, you know what, I would like this absolute piss water American beer right here, which is about 3%.
Fuck, I fucking knew you were going to do this. I was going to make a joke about it, and I didn't want to.
And the bartender turns around and opens a drawer, and as he opens the drawer, a puff of this steam comes out as he opens a freezer and pulls out a tankard, this beautiful frosted glass tankard that has been sat there. And
Amazing.
As he puts it underneath the tap and the ice cold liquid hits the sides, and you just get a whisper of perspiration on the side of the glass. Condensation, not perspiration, sorry. It could be a sweaty.
The bartender's just sweated into it. It's grim.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine. You let it happen.
Milking himself into it. And he pops it down on the table and you bring it to your lips, and
Good Lord.
the refreshment of it tasting like absolute nothing, like the crystal, most beautiful bastard thing in the world, and just taking away all of your problems.
What a delightful picture.
I would like that beer as my drink.
Now, is this specific to the situation you've just painted there, where you might be shopping, you might be out? Or, I mean, it just that seems very, very specific. So what I'm saying is,
No, I'd like that without the effort.
yeah, because what I'm saying is, are you finishing your fry up and then popping out shopping for a bit?
Well, I need to work it off.
Well, that's possibly true.
To be fair, I'm going to be bunged up otherwise. But I just think in general, I think it's mostly my two main takeaways on this is A, nowhere in the world can do sports bars like the US.
Correct.
That is just my first sideways point, which I didn't really touch on, but they are fantastic places.
And usually the best wings, too.
Side note, yeah.
Okay, so I've got 3 points that I would like to make. One, that nowhere does sports bars like the US. Nowhere. 2, chicken wings. Usually an inordinate amount as the smallest quantity you can order.
Correct.
Like, it'll be like, oh, I quite fancy some chicken wings. 20 chicken wings. Oh, do they do a smaller? What, 40 chicken wings? Oh, I've got 5 buckets of chicken wings. Okay, well, I'll get 40. You don't want to get the...
Okay, I'll get the larger one.
You're not going to get the smallest one, are you? You don't want to look them up. But third is just in the States of the ice cold glass with the ice cold beer. They're just made together, not the classic English room temperature warm ale, what have you. That's something that, lagers, that's kind of the cross point.
Yeah.
But something about that, oh man, it's just beautiful.
I think a good 50% of that is the frosted glass situation you mentioned, because...
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, it ain't the beer.
Yeah, well, possibly, no. But I think the first foreign holiday I went on with my wife was to Zante. And there was a specific bar we found early on. I'm so glad we found it early on because we'd go there and they'd do Mythos, which was the...
Mythos. Yeah. So that was a beer that I was thinking of. You got Mythos in Greece, which I used to have, and you got Kio in Cyprus.
Oh, well, I recently went to Cyprus and had that as well. It was absolutely delightful. But specifically in this bar in Zante, we were young, we were in our early 20s, and they would pull out these frosted glasses and... just tiny bits of ice on top of the beer that had just sort of come up, and it was so good. And you can buy Mythos in Sainsbury's now. I don't ever touch the stuff because it won't fucking be like that will be.
No.
So,
and I wonder if it's because the image that you build of it because of the situation taints it for you, or ultimately, it's just a shit product or whatever. But
doesn't matter.
I think it really is. It is the frosted glass and the amounts, like a pint. There's a reason that no one drinks pint bottles.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Because the temperature, by the time you've held it in your hand, you would drink half pints of beer more than twice as fast. As pints of beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of the amounts. And so in the States, what would you say is the standard amount? Like if you ordered a draft, is it like 12 or 14 ounces?
No, it's a pint. Almost everywhere it's a pint or bigger.
But the pint's different.
16.
See, ours is 20 ounces.
Oh, really? Okay, a pint here is 16.
I think in mils, so I know in the UK it's 568 millilitres. Because it makes no fucking sense.
Why wouldn't it be?
Here a US pint is 473.176473 milliliters.
So smaller, yeah.
Okay, so we needed it to 5 decimal places.
In case you were wondering.
In case you're doing multiples, but I think that just even that 100 mil difference just contributes. And you're not holding the glass; they serve it in tank. Where do you get tankards? You don't see that here at all. Anywhere.
It sounds like you just want to move to the US, my dude. Just saying.
It does.
I mean, there's a lot of things standing in the way, but pretty much.
I think... other than the guns and the and all the other not drinkable tap water in most. Besides that, other than that.
Yeah, and the fact that I wouldn't be able to get my main dish.
Exactly.
Well, that's also true, I guess. Yeah. Did you, by the way, just to double check for our notes, did you say Bud Light or Coors Light or National Ice, or is there a specific brand you want?
What's National Ice? I don't know.
Oh, you would love it. It's even worse than Bud Light.
Perfect. So I'm actually right now genuinely drinking Bud Light.
Of course you are.
There you go, because it's clear, and I don't really like beer, and it's low ABV, so I can drink more of it.
Yeah,
and it's kind to my figure. Bud Light, Coors Light.
I love a Coors Light.
Michelob Ultra.
Okay.
Wow.
That kind of thing. I just don't want. I want the main taste to be cold.
Yes, I do love a very cold beer. I won't go for a Bud Light, although most people in America do. It's by far the number one selling beer.
Is it?
Yeah.
But a very, very, very cold beer. And obviously I'm not going for a cold Guinness, because what the fuck are you doing?
That's just too heavy.
It's just too much. Yeah, but a lighter.
Oh, when everyone loves it, but they only drink it for one day of the year because they're fucking pricks.
But there's definitely
we're all a bit
something
Irish. Sorry.
There's definitely something to your container size thing, because on my 21st, I don't know if I've told the story before, but I went out and got a Das Boot a 2-liter glass boot of beer. Me and my dad and my brother and my mom each drank a Das Boot for my 21st birthday. And like, by the time you're halfway down the boot, because the thing is like a gallon of beer or something absurd. I don't even want to know. It's like so warm and disgusting, and you're just like drinking it because it's there and you paid for it. So, Bud Light, what do you, let's bring this baby home. What do you got for dessert?
Well, let me just interrupt a minute because Oscar will be delighted to know that Adam P knew what we were doing and came in with a dessert Premier League 11.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So while Chuck's just sitting on his dessert for a little while, not literally. So here we go. Brilliantly, the first player I'm going to choose, because he gave a few goalkeepers, but I'm going to choose one. Oscar won't know it because it's before 2000. So his goalkeeper is Bruce Cobbler. That's just for Chuck there. It's delightful. I enjoyed it. John Flanagan.
Hasn't had to make any change there.
Like a flan. Yeah. That's lazy.
Okay, but that's okay. Right, he can softball in a couple of early ones, but hopefully he's going to step it up. We're not going to have another...
He's really earning that resident punching bag name.
As long as we don't have another whale situation.
You were very upset about the mammal
so
getting
angry.
into the fish 11.
Angry. It was a mammal.
Okay.
Still is a mammal.
Okay. Ginger Breed Hangerland. He's used Breed Hangerland again.
He has, but it's a versatile name. Gingerbread of Hangerland. I'll go. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm in. All right.
Fruit Cocktail Ben Haim.
Wow, that is...
Come on.
Who even is that? I'm trying to put that together.
Tal Ben Haim. Played for Chelsea for a bit, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Fruit Cocktail Ben Haim.
It's just that the pun is so tenuous that you can't...
Yeah, exactly. I was like...
It's so long.
That's... Yeah.
I mean, this one sorts itself out. Musa Sissoko.
Again.
Okay.
Right, no,
all right, I'm in.
Yeah. Hasn't had to put any effort in there, but sure. Go, yeah, right.
Stru Deli Ali.
Okay, yeah.
It's good, Oscar.
Yeah,
Okay, Declan Rice Pudding.
Yes, good. All right, we're back on track.
Okay, so
Let's do
very
it.
clear, Adam, for future ones. All you need to do for Oscar to like it is just put a word onto any
Just
existing
add a word.
name.
Nothing more complicated than that.
It's my small brain. It can't make those logical leaps,
Canolito. Canolito. It works written down really well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word on that.
I think Oscar's just upset because he really likes cannoli.
It's true. Yeah.
Nolito is the footballer, Oscar. Yeah.
Nolito.
Yes,
yes,
guy.
yes.
What played for Man City? Yeah. No one remembers. No,
Yes,
of course you
yes,
don't remember
yes.
because he was awful. Next.
We didn't put a quality limit on this.
He did ask
Clearly,
me.
yes.
Actually, Oscar, you might like this. He specifically asked me, just so Oscar doesn't get annoyed, should I just do current players?
Yes, he should.
I
Yes.
said no.
Right, this is something I've noticed as well. Like, whenever and I've listened back to a few episodes, whenever I ask a question or from the listeners, Oscar always has a qualifier. Always. So I'll ask like a question like, so, I don't know, like, let's do players as cakes. And Oscar will be like, what, Premier League? And it's like, whatever the fucking question I said. Just...
Well, because if we're doing La Liga, you could do like, I don't know,
they're
Gerard
players.
Cheesecake instead of Gerard Piqué, right? Like Gerard Cheesecake.
Yeah.
And you're...
Okay, but...
Hang on. No, don't talk, Ian. Nothing against you. You criticise Adam for his puns, and you substitute PK for cheesecake.
They sound the same.
Gerard Cheesecake.
It's great.
If Adam did that, you would be furious.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able...
And no, Gerard Cheesecake and Shakir Rice Pudding. There you go.
It's not better than Damien Rice Pudding. That's his actual name.
And Shakira doesn't play football.
Yeah, and for someone who wants all the caveats in the world, are we talking current Premier League players? Or are
We should be, yes. Obviously.
or wives of La Liga players who I know because they've done songs? It's just... Anyway, right. Semi-Fredo.
That's good.
I can neither place the player nor the dessert.
The only
there.
reason I'm laughing at that is because that word features in my dessert, but we'll get to it. We'll get to
Fred is the player.
Fred.
Oh, Fred. Okay.
Semi-Fred.
What's the...
Semifreddo means like kind of frozen, but not.
Okay. There you go.
Italian.
Gotcha.
Tiramisu.
Yes. Okay. Heavily on board with that.
I knew
That's
we'd
fantastic.
get him, Adam. I knew we'd get
That
him.
should have just been his 11.
That's so good. Yeah, just that. Just end it there. That's amazing.
Tiramisu, over again.
I think his front three is great. Second one, Tony Biscotti.
Tony Cotti. He was a player.
It's great. If you liked Leicester players like Steve Guppy.
There you go. Okay.
Steve Guppy, interestingly, can't believe he didn't feature in Adam's Fish 11.
No, a poor... Well, Adam's young. I can let him go with not knowing Leicester players from 1997. That's absolutely fine.
Fair.
And to finish it off, it's Mario Balotelli.
Okay.
That is solid.
Fantastic. Well, not really. It's pretty gelatinous, but...
Oh, fuck off. Don't critique me. Like, that is Adam's
no, that was fantastic. Yeah.
To,
Tiramisu, definitely...
And also, take my word for it, Tony Biscotti is great.
He's good.
It's great.
He sounds like he'd be a lawyer from Rhode Island. We have like a lot of like... Oh, God. Like, there's like a Paulie Pepperoni. There's some like very ridiculous fake names.
Good God.
He's definitely a mob boss of some sort.
Yeah. Paulie Pepperoni is like legit a lawyer whose ads are all over Rhode Island.
Brilliant. Right, I apologise. I hijacked your dessert. Chuck, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that finished strong. Otherwise...
Yeah, it was such a strong finish.
So, Chuck, what are you having? You having a bit of tiramisu?
Declan Rice pudding.
So, my dessert, interestingly, is a Semifreddo tiramisu. So he somehow
there you go.
managed to get both words in there. And that's also why I really enjoyed it. So
with a Tony Biscotti on the side?
I mean, I'll go for it. I'll go for a Tony Biscotti and a...
Mario Balotelli?
No, I was trying to think of something with affogato, but... Oh, no.
God.
Carry on. Anyway, so Ian's mentioned this a few times about not enjoying, for whatever reason, a tiramisu for many a year.
Mm.
And I kind of had the same, I think, because I think young people, you don't like coffee.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it's most of the time coffee's very bitter on its own, unless you're in America where you put 20 sugars in everything and you serve it in 20-ounce sizes.
1 ounce for every sugar, obviously.
I mean, obviously. Why else? That you therefore, things that are coffee flavoured, instantly disgusted. The packet of Revels you buy, maybe from the vending machine at school, is the game you play is that if you get the coffee one, you lose.
Yep.
Because no one likes the coffee one. Bloody love the coffee one now.
Ah, there you go.
And so...
What's the bad one now? Orange? Is it orange?
I don't know. I just eat them all pretty
orange.
much in one go.
Yeah, it's orange. It's definitely
If you're going to give me like a 30-gram packet of sweets, it's gone. Okay, so...
It's probably orange.
Ian's decided it's orange.
It's orange, probably. So, carry on.
Yep. One more.
Sorry, I'm a little confused. What is it?
It's orange,
Revel... As he Googles Revels.
It's a Russian roulette of sweets, and the one you don't want is it's orange.
Although the different flavours are different shapes, so it's
you can tell
it's Russian roulette, but it's also very predictable.
Yeah.
Okay, I was picturing like Bertie Bott's every flavour beans.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's like that, but not with
similar, but all encased in chocolate.
Yeah.
So you've got like one that's like a cylindrical,
and there's
disc.
only about 4 or 5 flavours.
5. You got.
Is there earwax? Is there an earwax flavour?
Yeah, no,
that's the orange.
That's vile.
That's orange.
Orange, coffee, a Malteser, a minstrel.
A what?
And something else. See, these things won't...
Yeah.
What was that last one?
A minstrel. A minstrel is a coated chocolate...
It's a big M&M.
disc. Yeah.
Do you know, like, I don't know if that word has the same one over there.
Yeah,
but
black
do you
and
know
white minstrels, we know. We know.
Okay.
We know.
All right, you should cut that for sure.
Well, they're still called it. That's the name. They're called Galaxy Minstrels, even now.
It's fine.
It makes me uncomfortable every time you say
Just
that.
a musician. It's fine.
I'm not blacking up. It's fine.
He's washed that off since the starter.
Done.
Jesus Christ, man.
What were we saying?
Orange Revels are bad.
Right, so yeah, orange Rebels are bad. Fine, Ian, I concede orange Rebels are bad.
Yeah.
Coffee flavoured, lovely now. So watching, again, TV food shows. That's how I come up with this. And this is a dessert I've never actually had. So I'm going out on a limb here.
Right.
I watched a TV show which was called Amazing Places to Eat or Favourite Places to Eat or something like that. And it was on the Beeb. And it was presented by a guy, well, not presented really, but there's a guy called Fred Sirieix. Who is
First Dates dude.
So he was on a TV show called First Dates, and to explain him to Oscar, I would say he's so kind of like the celebrity chef kind of thing, of someone who just works in that industry and gets big. He's the same, but for front of house. Yeah. So he was like a big maitre d' and sommelier and those kind of things. So he's kind of the same, but a front of house kind of role.
Gotcha.
And he goes round, I think there's four episodes and 4 different chefs or people where he goes to different countries and they show in those countries their favourite places to eat. And there is one where he goes with the chef, her first name's Angela, I can't remember her second name.
Angela Hartnett?
Hartnett, thank you very much.
Yeah, I love her, she's great.
She's really good.
Really good chef,
really good fun. And so they're in Italy and specifically Venice. And in the Piazza San Marco, which is in like the middle of Venice by St. Mark's Cathedral, there is a big bistro kind of cafe, which is called Cafe Florian. And ultimately, with all the outside seatings, it's a little cafe bistro, but you can fit about 400 or 500 people in it. And the waiters are in like these pristine white outfits. They carry everything is on silver trays. I've looked afterwards. If you order a coffee there, it's €7. Like, it's ridiculously expensive. But it's this beautiful operation and everything is perfect about it. And they had this dessert on there, which was called tiramisu semifreddo, which was like this little chocolate dome that came and then cut into it. And it was a not completely solidly frozen, but tiramisu with all the layers. And it just looked amazing. And I wanted to go there. Didn't care how much it costs. Obviously, don't go to Venice now, guys.
Leave it a while.
Probably not open. Wait till Ian actually gets there and then, the curse is lifted. And it just looked incredible. And I wanted that in that place, this beautiful square with a cathedral and the sun shining and that stuff. That's what I'd like.
Picking a course you haven't had. I like it, though. I like it because you've painted a picture. Yeah,
and plus, if I walk there, I might have burnt off the full English.
Some of the calories.
You're going to race across the world here.
Yeah. Absolutely. No planes. I will just get there somehow.
Yeah. Wow. That does sound
and
good.
would really, really like that. I was tempted to go. My nan used to make this amazing lemon drizzle cake with like a lemon white chocolate icing.
Lemon, is that another flavour that you only appreciate as you're older? I mean, you said your nan there, so did you like it as a kid?
See, I think this has come up before, that like in the battle of chocolate versus sweets, I would go for sweets. So I was always like a more fruit flavoured. Like even drink-wise, I would say I hardly drank Coca-Cola or anything like that until I was like 18, 19.
Okay.
Always go for like lemonade or Fanta or like a fruit flavour. So lemon for me and citrus, like that's always been big on my agenda. Like even just a scoop of sorbet would be, I won't get a dessert pretty much most of the time. Starters, dead cert.
Yeah.
Judging, as you can tell from what I've ordered, I'm as big as a house by the time we get to dessert. But I would get like a sorbet or something. Num 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 num.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
But I would. I mean, in my head, that's not an adult kind of flavour.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe that's just me.
I used to walk around eating lemons, like just eating the lemons like if they were orange slices when I was a kid.
Because of scurvy.
I just love lemons.
Because you can't drink the water and you can't, get vitamin C anywhere, so you may as well just...
Correct, yes. But yeah, I used to cut up lemons like oranges and then just...
Really?
Munch on the lemon slices.
Wow. Okay, maybe it's just me then. I've always thought of that sharp citrus taste as maybe something that I've developed a taste for as I've been an adult, but...
No.
Okay.
But just so you know, in terms of the spectrum, like, I'm not the Oscar end. I'm not having lemons in my packed lunch.
Yeah. I mean, we've glossed over the fact that Oscar's weird there because I think we've all just accepted it. But
Correct. Yes, I don't think that's normal, but whatever. It's delicious. So what if I figure stuff out that everyone else isn't brave enough to try? Makes my life much better.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, the level of self-awareness is beautiful.
Yeah. All right, Ian. Let's have that order back so we can wrap this all up.
Okay, so you have chosen sparkling water as a refresher of the palate, a cleanser. Much better than still water. The bubbles are doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, poppadoms or bread was a strange one. You want nachos. But
don't forget the lime pickle.
All right, after all of this, I'll go poppadom.
Poppadoms,
I'll
okay,
go poppadom,
fine.
half normal poppadoms, half spicy poppadoms with all the fixings.
Not naan. Okay, so we've got poppadoms in the end. Okay.
Oh, yeah, naan. I don't know. At this point, I don't care. Bring me food.
All of them.
Ian, I think you forgot the lime pickle with those nachos, so I'm going to have to take over here.
Sorry, go on.
Honestly. For the starter, we had some chicken wings.
Some chicken wings.
Specifically with a conveyor belt or some sort of circular...
Some sort of Neil Peart drum kit situation.
Oh, yes, I like that.
Where all around me. I'm so glad that I knew Oscar would get that reference, and I'm really glad that Ian did.
Yeah.
Is that I would like sauces up on high and meat up on low.
And I think, like, that would be a good way to do his memory.
Oscar, you weren't watching. Chuck was doing a sort of a drum scenario where he had...
With drumsticks.
Exactly. He had meat where the snares and the toms would be. And he had sauces up with the cymbals. It was beautiful.
There you go. I can't think of a better way to honor Neil Peart's memory than
absolutely
a drumstick wing sauce.
That's shit.
Sorry.
In memory.
For the main,
my boy.
We had a full English breakfast, 3 sausages. I'm including a bratwurst in there because he said you could do what you want.
Okay.
We had every kind of eggs you could imagine.
Yes.
We had a mushroom cooked by that one chef that tasted like an entire English breakfast. We had, the tomatoes. We had
well-mixed beans.
Yep. The shake your Canneton beans first and then splooge it out onto the plate.
Genuinely, guys, if you don't... You know when you open a tin of beans and at the end just scrape in to get that and then you get the metal taste? If you just shake the tin of beans, you don't fucking get that.
I'm going to try that later because I never occurred to me to do that. And I'm always like, I always just pour a little extra water back in and then do that.
You're not making a soup, mate. Oh, no.
Well, actually, I am usually, but that's a Guatemalan thing. It's like black bean soup. It's like tomato soup, but it's just from beans. But anyway, that's the main. Then for the side dish, we had French cheese potatoes, mostly mozzarella.
Oh God, I forgot that.
Can you say it in a French accent?
Yeah.
Can you say it the French way?
What was it? Fromage?
No.
Ali? No.
Pomme aligot.
Pomme aligot. There it is.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Le pomme aligot.
I would like to try it with the Tom d'Auvergne, the specific local cheese to the mountainous region from whence it came.
For a drink, we had some ice cold piss water. Sorry, I mean Bud Light.
Yeah, specifically the holiday one in a sports bar with
frosted glass.
Maybe if I can just get the starter again on the side.
Sure, okay. Granted.
Thanks.
And for dessert, we had a semifreddo tiramisu.
Yes.
See, Adam P has to serve it.
I would very much like Adam P to bring that out.
With a cloche, a silver cloche, your little waiter's uniform.
I wondered what that was then, and then... Oh no, what is this?
It's Isolation Recommendation Station!
Before we go into that, I'm assuming A, that I don't have to pay for this meal.
No.
Right, but I would still like the ceremony followed that you bring over a bill, but with just so I can have the little mint chocolates at the end, please.
Oh, of
Thanks.
course, yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Fine.
Perfect.
Just as long as that's there,
Good point.
long as I'm not out of pocket, but I still get mint chocolate.
Yeah, of
Happy
course.
days.
Adam P will sort that out.
Adam P's picking it up. Fantastic.
He's the waiter. He's the bellboy and the waiter.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The busboy.
Yeah, he's bringing your mint chew.
Oh, yeah. All right, Ian, you can start us off.
If they were a stretch, come on.
Scott Minto chocolate.
Oh. Good, Scott Minto, thank you. That was what I was looking for. I apologise to everyone. Oscar, what are you recommending?
Oscar, your section. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go first. We, this week, signed up for and started using for the first time the DC streaming service. I don't know if it's available in the UK, but it is available here.
Okay.
It is for DC Comics specifically. I did not get it so that I can watch Justice League, what a garbage movie, or Batman v Superman, but they have all of the DC animated movies on there. They have the DC animated Batman series and the Superman series and Justice League and Teen Titans from the 90s and 2000s. Every animated thing. And it also comes with fucking like every DC comic book ever. And they have a cool mode where you can like read them on your TV screen digitally.
I was just about to say how they do that, but they have a comic reader. Oh, is it also like available on your phone? Can you?
I haven't looked for it on the phone, but yeah. And you get a 2-week free trial, and then it's like $7 a month, so it's pretty cheap. So we're making our way through the old Batman cartoon, and we watched actually for a more specific one, Batman Gotham by Gaslight is an animated movie. It's a steampunk Batman where he's solving the Jack the Ripper murders. And he catches him and stuff, and there's some plot twists in there, and it's a really cool they're called Elseworlds, so it's like a one-off story set in but it was a fucking phenomenal movie adaptation of it. The book is also really good.
Great.
And the DC streaming service.
I meant to say to you actually, Oscar, Finley's just finished the Superman Birthright thing that you recommended.
Oh, nice.
And he absolutely loved it.
Is this the comic that Oscar sent via Australia?
Yeah, yes, it took months to get here. Absolutely months to get here. But he absolutely loved it. Yeah, really liked it.
Great. I made another Superman fan out in the world. That's all I need. You're raising a little, Oscar.
100%. We all know this.
All right, Ian, what are you suggesting this week for our isolation recommendation station?
I didn't know we were doing one this week, but something I've been binging, which I'm sure a lot of football fans have because we're getting any sort of sport wherever we can, is the Sunderland Till I Die Netflix series, which has just released season 2. And it's really good. The amount of access is brilliant. And the first season was the season that Sunderland got relegated from the Premier League. So they're in the Championship and they're assuming they're going to bounce back up. And because at the minute, Peterborough, I support Peterborough obviously, and Peterborough and Sunderland are sort of... No, there might be new listeners.
That never come up.
No, there probably isn't new listeners because there's fuck all listeners at the minute because no one listens to a football podcast. But in case there are new listeners, I'm a Peterborough fan. And yeah, at the minute, we are obviously a rival of Sunderland. So I was like going to watch this with like an absolute glee that I know they get relegated in the first season of this Netflix special to League One. And
spoilers.
It's not much of a spoiler, is it? But
no, really.
When I was watching it, I was like, every time they sort of started losing or whatever, I was like, ha, this is hilarious. And then you get sucked in and the fans are unbelievable. And it's a very well-made documentary. And by the there's 8 episodes in the first season. By the end of it, I was properly like, oh, fucking hell, I feel for like the fans and the staff of the club who were lovely and amazing. And it felt like a genuine community club. Like, I know Oscar hates the pyramid, but there are some.
I aggressively hate the pyramid, yep.
But no,
you're allowed 4 levels, and that seems a bit much, if I'm being honest, but okay.
But there are some clubs that just genuinely benefit the community, and the city that is a working class city that in the past has just been screwed by Tory governments. And sorry, did I just cough that one? Sorry.
Tory governments, just in case you didn't catch it the first time.
Fucking hell. But like, yeah, the city just revolves around the football club. And it was, by the end of it, I was genuinely gutted that they got relegated to League One. It was like, oh, awful. And then the second season comes in, you've got this new owner, a guy who is their sort of executive director, who is like a lovely little David Brent, just delicious. Like, the things he fixates on are just outrageous. And their dealings with chairman, like the owner, I think he previously only owned Eastleigh Town. Like, that's how sort of
Oscar, ever heard of Eastleigh Town?
I have not. No, it sounds like one of those teams that should not exist.
Way down in the pyramid.
Right. Yep. No disrespect to any Eastleigh Town fans that we have listening.
I don't think we've got any of them. But yeah, his naivety in sort of football agent negotiations and stuff is brilliant. And yeah, it's Really good. A nice little sort of behind-the-scenes football fix. I'm not the first one to watch it. There's been a lot of football podcasts saying that you should watch that one. It's really, really good.
I tell you what, though, like I've tempted to watch it, but something that I'd forgotten about through all of this, and I wish it could just come sooner now, is that they are making a Tottenham series on Amazon this year.
Oh, for this season of all fucking seasons.
Like, I want it so
They're
bad.
going to follow Jose in the park, just with...
Yeah, you think they got that? Like, did they follow him?
Fucking hell.
When he goes down, like, and I mean, Jose will come out in a good light because he went, like, helping out at food banks and stuff, but I just want it. There's just so much that's happened this year.
So good. So good.
I hope that still happens.
But yeah.
All right, Chuck, what do you? Let's close out the week. What do you recommend here?
So I've already mentioned the guy. There is a TV show which is. So I'm sticking with BBC again. No, it's not BBC. It's Channel 4, I think. But English TV again. After last week, there is a TV show which is called Gordon, Gino, and Fred. And it's on at the minute in a series, but there was like a 3-part series before a Christmas special, and it is Fred Sirieix, who I mentioned earlier, Gordon Ramsay, and a guy called Gino D'Acampo. Who is, for Oscar's benefit, and anyone else who doesn't watch English
a colleague
daytime
of
TV.
mine.
Well, yeah. That we'll get to that because I'm hoping you can give me some stories later. But he is a celebrity chef who has come to fame through daytime TV shows and stuff. And so it's a Frenchman, Italian, and a Scotsman when it suits him, chef going round, and they go to Italy on the first one, France, then England. They do a Christmas special in like Morocco.
Oh wow!
And at the minute, the series is in the US and Mexico. And it's just the three of them going around having fun, trying food, and also just getting up to mental stuff. But they are such amazing characters.
Yeah, good, big characters, all three of them. Yeah.
And it's just, especially at the moment, it's just one of the most uplifting and hilarious shows that you can watch. So I definitely would go for trying to unearth that somehow and have a watch, because it's just delightful. There's a really good balance of three blokes just that you can tell are friends, but just having like little arguments and bickering, them doing stupid shit or going fishing and being ridiculous, and then also still the food element of going to these amazing places, cooking and that kind of thing. And if you haven't watched it, give it a go. It's just the tonic at the moment.
All right, very good. And I think that'll wrap it up for this week. So, Chuck, do you want to take us out?
Where we go? Oh, no. Well, because for the same meal again? Are we...
No, you always do the outro.
You
I don't want
always
to
do the
steal
outro.
your thunder.
Oh, yeah, that. Sorry. Time is...
Present us with the bill.
Present you with the amount that I'm charging for this beautiful mess. Thank you very much for listening to what is quite frankly my favourite episode so far. Not going to lie, it was all about me, so fantastic. Thank you, Ian and Oscar, for wonderful stuff, as ever, and managing to keep me knowing what day of the week it is, at least for one day of the week.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Stay safe out there, and goodbye.
Miles Offside is a Nate Whittam and Mark Howells production.